So Donald Trump has made lawlessness fashionable. And because lawlessness begets lawlessness, many state legislatures are now following suit. Let's talk about that. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So Donald Trump has made lawlessness fashionable. How and where has it taken us? Well, the how started even before the 2016 election because, make no mistake about it, he stole the presidency. How did he steal the presidency? In at least a couple of ways. One, he unlawfully paid off playmates and porn stars to bury from the American voters deeply damaging information that the voters had every right to know about him before they went to the polls. In a very real sense, Donald Trump robbed the American voters of the full value of their vote. And the other way he stole the presidency, of course, was with Russia's assistance. He welcomed it. He asked for it. Hey, Russia, if you're listening. And he received the information. He exploited the information to his advantage. Members of his campaign sought it out, coordinated with Russia. Donald Trump stole the 2016 election. And stealing is bad, but usually there's a remedy for stealing: prosecution, accountability. But once Donald Trump was president, what did he do? He held up the shield of the presidency and said, "You can't touch me for the crimes I committed in attempting to become president, because there's this Department of Justice Office of Legal Counsel, OLC memo that says you can't indict a sitting criminal president." You know, folks, I wrote about this back in 2018 for NBC News blog Think, and I said that the DOJ memo, the Office of Legal Counsel memo, must be reevaluated because it is shielding a sitting criminal president from being held accountable for stealing the presidency. That's a special kind of governmental insanity. Let me use what's going to sound like a ridiculous analogy to highlight just how absurd this OLC memo is. If the Department of Justice Office of Legal Counsel issued a memo saying anybody who has $1 million can't be prosecuted, so I go to the bank and I rob it of $1 million. And when they try to charge me, I say, whoa, 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 you have this memo. It says that if I have $1 million, you can't prosecute me. They would read their memo and say, ooh, guess we're stuck. That's absurd. The same principle holds true for a president who steals the presidency. He can't then use the presidency as a shield against the crimes he committed to become president. The OLC memo must be revisited and revoked because lawlessness begets lawlessness. And where do we now find ourselves? Well, we find ourselves with the big lie. We find ourselves with a violent insurrection attempting to overthrow the government. Hopefully, we don't find ourselves with a second insurrection building. We find ourselves with fraudits in Arizona, and it looks like they may be kicking off in other states. Why? Because lawlessness begets lawlessness, and the state legislatures are following Donald Trump's playbook. State legislatures, inspired by Donald Trump's lawlessness, no longer believe, at least some of them, that they have to act in a lawful manner. Let's take one state legislature as an example, Texas. The Texas Heartbeat Law. It's been reported out by a number of publications, this from the Austin American-Statesman. Texas Senate approves legislation banning most abortions, testing Roe v. Wade. Well, the law of the land, as handed down by the Supreme Court in 1973, in the case of Roe v. Wade, says that women have a constitutionally protected right to privacy that includes a right to make the extraordinarily difficult, personal, painful decision about whether to end a pregnancy. And the Constitution says they get to do that without excessive government restriction or interference. But because lawlessness begets lawlessness, the Texas legislature feels perfectly comfortable violating the law of the land, violating women's constitutionally protected privacy rights. Can I ask this one question? What's to stop the Texas legislature from ignoring or violating other Supreme Court precedent? Like Brown versus Board of Education, where the Supreme Court put an end to government-sponsored racial segregation. Lawlessness begets lawlessness. Arguably, the Texas state legislature is already creeping toward an attack on Brown versus Board of Education with the horrific voter suppression laws it's passing. And these are transparently designed to impact communities of color. But here's the thing, folks. There's actually an easy remedy. There's an easy antidote to Donald Trump making lawlessness fashionable. It is simply for the Department of Justice to prosecute criminal politicians. The Department of Justice can make lawfulness fashionable, accountability fashionable, justice fashionable. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. So DOJ, let's roll. Because justice matters. Folks, as always, thank you for tuning into these daily videos. If you'd like to more formally support our all-volunteer efforts, our mission, our content, please feel free to go over to patreon.com, sign up to become a patron. If you do, I'll send you some Team Justice stickers and a personal handwritten note of thanks. And folks, we will be fighting this fight every day as long as we're drawing breath. As always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.